You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Beauty and the Beast After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Beauty and the Beast After Show.
Yes, Beast is the new black, and here at AFTERBUZZ TV, we are back. I'm your host, Alikona Bradford, and if you notice, there is a new, sparkly, fresh face in my co-host seat.
Hi, Beasties. How are you? I'm Laura Nickerson.
Yes, so now we have Laura. I have been stuck being the bearer of bad news, so I do apologize. Great news to have you here.
Thank you.
However, you'll notice that there are two hosts missing. Unfortunately, and fortunately, Paige Sullivan has moved back to the East Coast. She's got a lot of great stuff going on there, so she's not here with us in LA, but you can still tweet her if you want to talk to her because she loves you guys. And Alex Angarita has a crazy busy schedule, and so unfortunately he's not able to join us as well, but that's okay because we still have a great show in store for you guys.
I'm so excited.
Yes, and the opportunity to get to know a new face, which is always tons of fun.
Yes. Hi, I want to be an honorary Beastie tonight.
Yes, certified.
Yes. Beastie is the new black.
It is. Which, you know, we were just talking about before we went on air. I said, wait, where was the black in this episode? I'm a little confused.
Maybe it was the mood.
It could be. I could see that.
Or maybe it was the lighting.
Or
the
outfits. Jackets. Yeah, there you go. He wasn't a lot of black. And orange.
That's true.
Sexy and orange, I will say that.
I thought that there was a lot of sexy with nothing on, but that's just me.
I can agree with that.
We might get into that later.
We'll talk about that. I wouldn't have mind being the officer that was like, excuse me, snap with my gloves. Can you bend over, please? Please.
Or the TSA, but, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It works. But let's start at the top of the episode because, we pick up right where we left off. There was a really long, awkward break, which was painful for most of us, but glad to be back. And then the thing that I always talk about is JT and Tess. I am so JT and Tess. It was a long time waiting to come. The unlikely pair. They're finally together. And the first shot we get, they're in bed together.
That was so great.
Yeah. Well, it's funny is in my notes before even getting here tonight, one of my thoughts were, so have they done the duty? Like, we know they like each other, but CW just put it right out there. Yes, they have.
Heck yeah.
Yes,
that's
they
exactly
have.
what happened. And they looked like they had a pretty good time too.
What's funny is I don't know where I read this, but I feel like it was something along the lines of JT is one of those guys where you'd never expect it, but he probably rocked her world so hard.
I was thinking the same thing because it's a little bit of that story we've heard before, right? The hot girl who's a little, brusque, and then the sort of dorky guy, which, let's face it, he's kind of a dorky romantic guy. But when they come together, it makes him a little rougher and it makes her a little softer, which is kind of the way you want it to be. Right. You want them to bring out the best in each other. And you can tell that whatever he did in that evening, he probably thought about it a lot. Like he had planned that out for several years or whatever. And she seemed to think that went well.
Oh yeah. Well, and we know that he's a sweetheart. He Googles what to do on Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure he pulled out all the bells and whistles. But at the same time, it could have been a spontaneous. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. There's a bunch of pictures now that are kind of floating around in my head.
But what I will say is this episode, it was very cool to see he took a stand a lot in this episode.
He did.
And I mean, obviously it's his best friend, so he's going to voice his opinion. And I felt like in that scene, jumping to you guys know me, I'm all over the place. But there was one point where everyone's trying to figure out what to do because Vincent's run away. And JT is the only logical person to me in that room saying, look, he ran away because stupid you told him what you were going to do, which is try to plead guilty. Like,
Right.
duh, you shouldn't have told him.
But what I loved about that scene was he kind of like turned into a totally different person.
Yeah.
It was like he found his inner beast a little bit because he's always a little like, okay, yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, okay, look, everybody messed up and I'm going to fix it.
Yeah, he owned the room.
You messed up and you messed up and you messed up. Figure it out.
Right.
I was
right.
like, oh my, I
Get
can
it?
see,
Okay,
I can
Tess.
see a little
Okay,
sexiness
Tess.
in there.
Right,
Okay,
right.
all of a sudden.
Even though the whole is cute and funny at the same time, they're not a couple, but obviously she's like, JT. Like, as he's doing that, it's
Honey, JT.
right before the big
Yeah.
reveal. Which,
Yeah. But going back to just that first scene, because I just want to ask you about that, because the afterglow of it was so short. And then all of a sudden, the entire episode sort of took off like a rocket, and they're all on the phone. And then if you go back to the first scene with Kat, and she's running out in her pajamas, and I felt like it really took us back from that break.
Yeah.
With a really driving show, which was fun.
Yes.
And a funny show.
Yeah, absolutely. It always has this little moments of relief and stuff like that. But I like that you brought up the fact that, she's running in with her pajamas trying to get into the prison. What I found awkward-ish, if you will, is when she was on the street and she dropped her badge. It was such a blatant, even though it's snow, like a thud. It wasn't like she was running and it fell out. Then I could see that. But she was standing still, pulled something out. It fell on the ground, and then she turned, and then she went away.
So wait, where was the badge though? Was it
In the
on her
snow.
jacket? No, was
Oh,
it on
oh,
her
in her
jacket?
pocket.
In her pocket of her jacket.
Yes.
Okay, because if she wore her badge to bed, I would be thinking it was a whole different kind of evening.
Yeah.
Right. But
Right.
No, so she had it in her pocket and then it dropped. And then they have this like single camera shot on it. Like, guess what?
So
this
obvious.
was dropped. Please do not miss the fact that they dropped.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That one was a little obvious, CW, but that's okay. It's okay. In the future, it paid off. And what I also liked about this episode, I don't know about you, but it seemed like everybody was coming together with such teamwork. And not that they haven't before, but it's like every time you turned around, one of the crew, if you will, was somewhere, popped up somewhere.
Yeah.
Vincent's in jail, and then one moment, here's Kat, with drawing blood, this, that, and whatever, or taking the blood, excuse me.
Yeah.
Second time around, there's Dr. Forbes, and all of
Yes.
a sudden Tess shows up, and it's like all these people are just getting sprinkled into...
Well, I thought it was cool too that Gabe, whatever you think of by the end of the episode about Gabe, but in the beginning, they shine a little light on the fact that they put the suspicion on him from the get-go. And then all of a sudden it's sort of like, no, it wasn't me. Okay, I'm jumping in. And for whatever the reason in the long run, he did seem like he was part of the gang for most of the episode. He did seem like he was jumping
Yeah.
in there as a team member, even after he had every right to say, see y'all later.
Right,
Good luck
right,
with that.
right.
Good luck with that beast finding, okay?
Yeah,
Have fun.
yeah. I mean, I think this whole season 2 has been Gabe trying to earn himself and get back into the crew because he was at one point a beast and he terrorized people, and I get it.
When that happens.
Yeah, dang it. And so anyway, but I feel like at this point in time he redeemed himself, people slightly trusted him, and then he had this thing with Catherine which didn't work out, and now what I like about it, it's a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but he's trying to even out the playing field.
He said that a lot.
Yes, that's the part I'm gonna say. We get it. You're trying to even out the playing field.
Right. So what was he trying to do? Oh, even it out. The
I'm
playing
not
field?
sure. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure. Like, weren't you gone? Didn't you leave? Didn't you accept the defeat that you are not going to be the one? But now here you are. I mean, thank you for popping up at the right time in the right place, because Catherine was obviously about to get tossed in jail for having a gun on her and not a badge.
Right.
However,
Because it was in the snow.
yeah. So, I mean,
I know. I just sometimes I want to point to Gabe and put him in front of the TV and have him watch the opening credits and be like, "Look, it's not Beauty and the DA. It is
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not going to be you, honey.
Yeah.
Move forward." Sorry,
Yeah,
Gabe.
he's having a hard time with that one.
Yeah,
Don't know
he
why.
is. But I don't know. There was something that came out in him in this episode that I'm very curious about.
Well, you know what I think it is, in my opinion? I feel like he's just fed up. He's tired of coming in second best, and he's just going about it the wrong way. I'm sorry, I'm not going to fall in love with you if you're trying to be the demise of who I really love.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like he's trying to be crafty and trying to do the right thing, but as soon as given the opportunity, which Catherine's father is a plethora of money and of resources, and so you see that smile at the very end when the dad's like, you need to be doing more to protect her, and he says, right.
Yeah.
And the wheels are turning. So you
Yeah.
couldn't do it alone, now you're gonna do it with some help.
Yeah. What do you take that to happen? This is skipping all the way to the end, but at the end of the episode, that little exchange between them, what did you take away from that?
Oh, I think they're going to team up. I mean, well, we should talk about this in predictions, definitely.
Yeah, we
but
definitely
I
should.
do definitely think that they're going to team up. But going backwards a little bit, I totally lost my train of thought right now. So we'll just go into the fact that Vincent, the huge theme of tonight is Vincent will do whatever he can to keep other people out of trouble. It's like he devalues himself because of all the guilt that he harbors. He's just one big psychological, unfortunate.
We got to get him into therapy,
Yeah.
honey. He needs to go to a therapist.
Yeah.
Figure that stuff out.
Yeah, because Catherine, she is a woman.
Yeah.
Y'all know I'm pro strong woman up in here, ladies.
Holla.
Hey. And so she has a right. She has a say. This is a relationship. There are two people. Thank you so much for protecting me. But at the same time, I'm an adult. Let me make my decisions.
She had some great speeches about that tonight.
Yeah.
She had some great comebacks where she stood up for herself and said, stop treating me like a child, to her dad, to Gabe, to Vincent, to everybody. She's actually a really great example, I think, of what we could probably all do a little bit more, which is she stands up and says, look, I take the heat. I take the fall if I need to take the fall, but I take it because I'm a woman who's, protecting myself or doing the right thing.
Don't attack the mic.
Sorry, I got mad about it. Sorry, microphone. But, I liked seeing that. I think that's what makes this character a little more well-rounded than it could be, is the fact that she's not always sitting back playing the helpless maiden.
No, not at all. And she knows what she wants, and she does have a say. And it's not fair. It is not fair in a relationship for you to make all the decisions. You have to suffer because I want to take the fall. And then he's coming up with all these excuses about, I can just get off on good behavior, this, that, and whatever, get me the gem, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, going back into the prison, I don't mind the shirtless scenes.
Yes, let's talk about that. Let's slow down right there for a second. Yeah. So in comes Vincent, and totally gratuitous, probably there mostly for us women and some of the men. And he takes his shirt off and he gets like that. Right?
Can the
shirtless, and then he's
camera
like,
go lower?
right. And then he
That's what I
turns and he's like, oh, one more time. Hold on. And both of you and I just went, oh, wow, that's a good scene.
Yeah.
That's some fine acting right there. I don't
Yeah,
know what
right?
it's about, but it's great.
Well, speaking of Vincent's stellar body and great abs, our boss, Maria Menounos, the wonderful individual who has made AfterBuzz possible for both you and us beasties over here, has a new book coming out right over here, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys don't know, she's the everyday girl for everything. She has another book out, and this one is about her guide to diet and fitness. We all know she has an amazing body, so she tells you a little bit about how she gets that amazing body. So really quickly, we're going to have a little short break, and she's going to tell you all about it.
Hey guys, Maria Menounos here, and I want to share my newest book, The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, with you. Basically, every woman always stops me and asks me how I lost 40 pounds. So I decided to put it all in one book. Everything I did to lose 40 pounds step by step, and how you can too, is in here. I did it with no time, no money, and no willpower, and now I'm going to show you how to do it too. You can pre-order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, wherever books are sold, and it's out June 3rd. So I hope you guys love it. I hope it helps you in your weight loss journey, and please, please tweet me and update me on your progress at Maria Menounos. Thanks.
Yay, and thank you. That was a lovely message. Going back to our regularly scheduled program, we were talking about Vincent and his motivations, but let's talk about some of the things he did, because he did break out of jail. Did you see that one coming as to the motivation and why he was doing it, or were you just watching it like, oh, what's going on?
When he picked the fight?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was such a... Well, first of all, it came out of that gorgeously shot scene that he and Kat had, where they were showing each other's reflections in the glass when they're talking through the I don't know what that's called. What's this called? Telephone. So old school. I don't know. But they had this beautiful scene.
I didn't hire her.
Right. What is the...
No, I'm just kidding.
I just have one of those ear... so anyway, they have this beautiful scene that comes out of that, and then it's like he just walks in and decks this guy, and you think, okay, clearly there's some kind of choice happening there.
I went that direction, but only second. My first direction I went to was I thought he was testing the gem, because we know that that's his kryptonite, and we know that that's the reason why or what can calm him down outside of trying to think happy thoughts of Catherine.
Yes.
And at that point, I think he had just gotten the gemstone. So in my mind, I was like, okay, maybe he's just testing it out, making sure. It's a great way to test it out on, I want to say prisoners, but what's another word for bad guys?
Inmates?
There you go. The intellectual version
Villains?
of what I'm trying to say. So, I may as well try it on some inmates. They probably committed a few crimes. No big. I'll just punch one out and see what happens. So, yeah, I seriously thought he was just testing it out. And then when he was in the EMT, the ambulance, doing his little shimmy, I was like, oh.
Something's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, something's happening, and it's not dancing. And
No.
It's not the shimmy.
No. Although I would like to see him shimmy.
Maybe in the shirtless scene.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get a
Can you write that in, please?
shimmy shot.
Yeah, a little shimmy. So when he did all of that, I thought, this is going to go south quickly. He's going to make a drastic change ASAP. And he did. Clearly he did, because I thought he was going to go right back exactly where he did. Go right back to that grave of his brother and take that backpack full of escape stuff and be on the next flight. I completely 100% believe that's what was going to happen at that point.
But you know what? When that did happen, part of me was so angry because it's such a big thing to do. Like, you're already about to be on trial for this murder that you did commit. And I don't know about the rest of you beasties or you, but I almost let go of that and forgot that he committed a murder, if you will. It was self-defense. But at the same time, it's like we hold Vincent up so high and we love him so much. The last thing we think of him is as a murderer. So when he actually said it himself, I went, oh, that's right. He did do that.
Which kind of, it helps that whole storyline, though, with him and Kat, and why they keep pushing and pulling with each other, because he really is dangerous. He really can, or did, do these things that, there's a reason why she's always had this sort of I'm in, I'm out, I'm up, I'm down kind of a thing, because Gabe is the safe choice, and Vincent's a little, he's the bad boy. He's a little dangerous.
But every girl loves a bad boy.
Well, clearly.
Yes. Boo.
Not us.
No.
We've never made bad choices.
No, never. Are you kidding?
Never.
We're perfect. What? No.
No.
We totally don't mean
We've
that.
never gone to bed with someone and had them be arrested for murder the next morning.
Oh,
right?
no. Yeah, now I can safely say I've not done that one.
Yeah, me too.
So, but it's a game changer. What he did was a game changer, because if he didn't successfully get himself out, which he's a beast, of course he is, but if he ever wants to come back and have a normal life with Catherine, that's out the window.
Yeah.
Like, that's done. You guys almost had a chance, and that's done.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I don't think it was. I've seen too many plot twists in things like this where you go, there's a way. There's a way. And then the minute they brought up Salvo, that her father had hired this guy to frame him, I thought, there could be a really easy way out of this.
Right.
Clearly there isn't, but there could have been.
But see, that doesn't change the fact that he just escaped. If you were, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you were trying to do the right thing and you were an innocent person and you were arrested, okay. But, and even if this guy is delusional, the EMT, which we know he's not, but he's got, they're trying to put it as like PST or whatever.
You were getting sleepy. She walks him to him and she gives him that like look, with her beautiful big eyes, and she's like, you are getting sleepy.
Yeah.
You are having hallucinations.
Right.
Watch my watch, or whatever she did.
Yeah, I mean, it worked. Yeah.
PTSD.
Thank you. I just don't want to butcher that one on camera. But anyway, so, but even getting rid of that situation, there's still the element of the back of your vehicle is a little bit tore up. And
How do you explain that?
I mean, either the driver was really drunk, and if so, the guy that was doing the right thing still walked away from the scene. So you're still, no matter which way you cut it, if Vincent comes back and he's trying to live a normal life, someone's going to try to snag him.
Yeah.
Be it the police or Murfield, which may still be around.
Right.
That was a big thing tonight.
Yeah. Because, we had recently, in the cliffhanger from the end of, before this break,
right,
we had all of this. We were going to, Sam was going to he killed all these people. He was going to kill all these people. And maybe or maybe not, that kind of left us with some tangly strings that may come back, which clearly it looks like they're going to.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. So going, I want to go back just a little bit and talk about Gabe.
Let's do.
Yes. We all know he's sexy.
There's something about his skin. I don't know, his lips.
He's just pretty.
He's
so pretty.
beautiful.
But
There's just
why?
something about him.
Last season we talked about, I just want him to find a nice girl and go
I want him to warm up because he still has that kind of cool demeanor. Maybe it's a leftover from his Heroes thing or something, but there's something about him that's a little like, I don't know, cool. And even when he was with her, even when he was being at his sexy best with Kat, it still seemed a little like, I want to see him get completely fired up.
I want to see him shirtless.
Yeah, please write in.
Yeah,
to the
there you go.
producers.
Season 3, we still have time.
Come on, people.
Yeah, I mean, you really want to even the playing game? Let me see some abs.
That's right. You put them out there doing sit-ups or something and see how even they are about that.
Yeah, see? There you go. And talking about abs and sexiness, the highlight for, I'm sure, many of the beasties this evening was that shower scene.
Okay.
Okay.
I got a feeling about the shower scene. Did you like the shower scene?
Yes and no.
Okay. Elaborate, please.
Okay, bathroom is the only option. I get it. There are a lot of sexy things you can do in a bathtub.
Word.
Being fully dressed and drenched, I don't know how sexy that is. I would have liked to at least got some shirts off before there was an interruption. Or, start taking the clothes off before you get in the shower, then get in the shower.
Yeah.
And turn the water on and then have all the wet hair and this and that. And it was
well, what was weird about it to me was that they took their shoes off. See, this
Right.
is like the old married people, right? We're like, oh, we're going to go do messing around in the shower. Let's fold our clothes and brush our teeth beforehand. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, or it's like when people have, I'm just saying, when people have sex, but they keep their socks on.
Yeah,
like,
don't do that.
That's just weird.
Don't do that.
No
Don't do that.
offense.
But if you just take your socks off and then you're like, oh, let's just get in the shower. If they were going to do that, then I needed to see that they just couldn't wait.
And rip their clothes off.
And I can't even wait to get in the shower with you. But instead it was a little like, here, please join me in the bathtub if you would. But take your shoes
clothes.
off, but leave your shirt on.
Yeah.
And then I had a question about what happened afterwards. Did he run off without his shoes? Did she have her shoes? What happened? Because they do, in the show, they show a lot of, especially her shoes. Have you noticed this?
No.
There's a lot of shots involving the footwear.
Maybe they have a sponsorship.
But they don't, it's mostly sort of like a heeled boot, which I totally support, by the way. But
Thank you, Fashion Diva.
I support your work there, high heeled boots. But I did notice it. I feel like they take a lot of attention to the shoes. So then why was it that they took the shoes off, got all wet, and then he ran for it? Was he shoeless?
He's a beast. Maybe he's got paws like a wolf, and it just does not affect him.
It's like Frodo feet or something that come out.
Ooh, maybe keep your socks on when we sleep together. How about that?
And I also want to point out that in New York, to get a bathroom of that size that two people could fit in is pretty rare.
Technicalities, it's Hollywood.
Yeah, I know. Because in New York, usually you have a toilet and then you can't shut the door when you're sitting on it because the bathroom is so small.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but hey, great. Congratulations.
Another technicality that I picked up on is when Gabe answered the door and Catherine goes running out. Here comes Vincent. Obviously, they do it on purpose so that way Gabe gets the notion that they were showering together because her hair is wet. Right. Here comes Vincent putting his shirt on. And I'm wondering, when did it come off? Because I didn't get to see that. Did you?
No.
I missed that memo and I would have liked to have gotten it.
Yeah.
That's just a little weird. I mean, it could have been an editing thing. Maybe the original shot, they did. And then in the post edits, it got snipped together. I don't know. I pick up on those weird things sometimes. But I don't know.
Well,
it is what it is.
They got through the shower somehow or another.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. I liked also JT and Tess towards the end of the show when they have their makeup and the whole confusion of the one night stand thing. And I feel like it's egos. To be honest, it's just protection egos. Not I think I'm the best ego. But, when you have that awkward, we've slept together, but we don't have a title and I don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
Who can be the first person to proclaim that this is not something? Do you know what I mean? To save my heart, to protect myself and not be embarrassed. I'm just going to spit out whatever. Oh, it's only one night.
Yeah. You got to be careful with that, though. You can't just spit that out.
Yeah.
If you're invested at all. If you're not invested, then whatever. But if you care and you just go, I don't. I'll see you later. That was a one night thing for me. I mean, you're just taking such a big step in the wrong direction.
Right. Exactly.
When you do that. I wish that I'm glad they got to where they got by the end of the show. Because in the beginning of the show, I'm thinking, oh, now they're going to, how many episodes are we going to have them, him over here and her over there? And I don't know if you noticed, but to me, this was sort of JT's episode in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like he went through such a metamorphosis in this episode from being vulnerable to being completely defensive, right? And mad and, action oriented to heartbroken, and then to vulnerable again. But the thing that I thought he was most vulnerable with was how hurt he was that Vincent went to Catherine and didn't go see him.
Yeah.
And you could see that. So he felt Tess had rejected him. Catherine, took his best friend and his best friend rejected him. And by the end, I was like, somebody
Give him a hug.
give JT a hug.
Yeah.
And luckily she did. And I was so glad to see that because otherwise I think I would have felt a little like, yeah.
I would like to see, though, and this is me going in a way different direction and going for morals and blah, 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 blah. They've had this connection for a while. They've had their first kiss, this, that, and whatever, but everything's been so hush-hush because nobody knew what the other person was thinking. No communication whatsoever.
Gotta
because
communicate.
Yeah, the couple that should not be, or doesn't make sense. That's what they keep referring it to, is the couple that doesn't make sense. At the same time, what does make sense anymore?
Yeah, true.
But outside of that, I want to see them on a first date. If you are, again, me going into morals, the first date should not be us having sex. It should be,
Wait, what?
Well, because they have not gone on an official date. I know, I'm all over the place. They've had a few
morals are
kisses.
crazy.
I know. Yeah, well, call me old-fashioned. Chastity belt. No, but I would have liked to see him try to romance her. I mean, we've seen in past episodes him helping Vincent romance Kat. I made the reference earlier tonight about him Googling what to do on Valentine's Day for Vincent in season 1.
Yeah.
He's resourceful and he's sweet. I want to see somebody do something sweet for Tess. She's so hard. We don't know much about her past, but she's obviously got this edge to her.
Shell,
she's tough.
yeah.
Why? Let's break her down. Let's make her soft.
Maybe this will happen. Maybe that's part of what this relationship will bring out in her.
Right. And maybe it's also too it's Beauty and the Beast. It's not JT and Tess, and maybe they want to keep the romance focus here. But at the same time, while people are getting split up and broken up over here, give us a little romance over there.
You know what they also gave us in this episode a lot of was humor.
Yes.
A lot of really funny lines came through here. I'm just going back through my notes to see. I don't know whether or not to kiss you or throw you off the roof. That was what Kat said to Vincent.
Yeah.
And I thought, anyone who's ever dated anyone probably has thought
Felt
that
that
same
way.
thing from time to time.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other really great lines they had in there. I got to look through my notes and find them. But, I really liked that. I felt like that lightened it up a little bit. Because otherwise you get so invested. Beasties, I know you're totally with me on this. You get invested, and then when things don't go the way you want them to go, and everybody has their happily ever after by the end of the show, you're kind of like, eh. But if you get some laughs along the way and you get a couple of payoffs, with the Tess and JT thing,
right?
Suddenly you're like, okay, you know what? I'll go along on the ride on.
Right, it eases
their
the
troubles.
wound, if you will, because obviously they're not going to have Kat and Vincent just happy and that's it, because it doesn't make for a good story arc.
Show over. And
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
done.
But it's nice that you have those little things in between that make you go, okay, there's still hope, or there's something else that makes me want to stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's
Well, and
just me.
that rounds out their characters too. That's what I really noticed in this episode, and I felt like it's grown all season. It's just seeing Catherine is growing. Every time I have seen her, she grows and grows and grows, and she's a little more complex. Then, JT is clearly growing in this episode by the farthest. And then you see this really sweet side of Tess at the end of the episode where she's sort of vulnerable and sweet, and you think, now we're starting to really, that's a real love of characters. That's when, the beasties get all behind people, as we do, is because you relate to them and you identify with them as real people and not just as, a stock character.
Yeah.
And I like that about the show a lot.
Yeah. I agree. I will say about JT, though, I know I already talked about him being the only logical one in the scene where they're arguing about what to do next. I don't know why it just hit me, but I feel like JT was, first of all, the most upset over what just happened, because it was like, oh my God, I know him better than anybody else, and you guys should know him too. Like, if you knew him, you would know that was a bad move. And I felt like, in that sense, Catherine, beginning of season 1, very selfish. Here and there, the selfishness comes out, and I feel like, I know I was talking about women and having a relationship with evenness, but she was thinking so much about what she wanted to do and so determined that she forgot to think about, she knows Vincent. You know him. Like, and JT's so right at that point.
But then Vincent has to know her too.
That's true.
I mean, come on, you can't think, I'm gonna take the hit for you, lady.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to jail, and you're gonna be fine, little lady. You move on.
Yeah.
We all know that's not gonna happen.
Right.
So maybe they both need to grow a little bit.
Yeah.
in that way and knowing each other. But there was a really kind of interesting moment. Tell me what you thought of this one.
Okay.
Okay. So they were in the apartment, right? And I'm going to leave. And I'm that's it. And she says, no, I'll stand by you. I'm going to stay with you forever. You can't get rid of me. And we're, yes, that's so great. And we're like, yeah, you go, girl. They're going to run away and they're going to go to Canada. And then the helicopters come in and she's like, okay, see you later. You got to go.
Right.
I was like, whoa,
Wait,
slow down, Missy.
yeah.
Try to get out with him first.
Right.
All you're seeing is headlights and you're out the door.
Right. I mean, that was my first initial thought. But then I thought about it, and the one thing she did say is, I will slow you down. And if you think about it, how fast was Vincent able to get away from the ambulance scene? We know that he is fast like that.
Yeah.
So him, unless he can piggyback ride her, I don't know. I mean, vice versa. She takes a piggyback ride on him. Her trying to run at her human pace and him zipping along.
Couldn't he pick her up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
can you Superman it? I
Yeah,
mean,
totally. She was Lois before, right? Couldn't she do it again?
Yeah. Hey, good call. But anyway, the thing is I don't know if it was just a quick thing of time. Like, yeah, you're right. Okay. And she made the smart decision, or he made the smart decision by handcuffing her and still making her look like she is the victim to him.
Yeah.
So she stays away. But I'm going to get into prediction territory and just put it out there and just say this. I'm wondering how long he's going to be away. I don't think it's going to be a whole entire episode. We obviously saw there's a big kidnapping that goes on at the very end of the episode. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
But
But
so that's your prediction. He's just going to come right back.
Since I'm just going there, let's just go into news and gossip and then we can talk predictions.
Perfect.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, you guys know I'm a picture whore. Sorry if I offended you, but that is me. I love pictures, so I show pictures. But at the same time, I do have a little tidbit. And if you guys do your research, I'm sure you know this too, and you're always welcome to tweet at me if there's a little buzz bit that you want me to talk about. Please, feel free. You can tweet me. But we all know that season 3 was very uncertain. And so going through these last few episodes that we're about to see, they had it in plan that, you know what, we may not come back. So the season finale was written to where it could be the for real finale. There's going to be a mixture of closure, but at the same time, some cliffhanger so that there was the in case. But I just thought it was interesting because they were prepared. And thanks to all the BCs out there that showed support and participated in all the campaigns, there's another shot. Only 13 episodes, but another shot. So really, I just wanted to put that one out there because I thought, I don't know, I always wonder about that, to be honest with you, when producers write things and how when they don't have an answer, if it's a yes or a no, how do they do that last episode?
Yeah,
you know?
and some of them just leave you hanging.
Yeah, exactly.
They just say, well,
and
too
then
bad.
the show's over.
Yeah, bye.
And you're mad
Hope
forever.
you figure that out.
Yeah. Please let me know when we have our pictures. Oh, okay. So this is something I found online. I just thought it was really cute. It's not anything super duper newsworthy, but if you are a couple and you do love Beauty and the Beast, there is the Beauty and the Beast t-shirts. For those of you who are listening on iTunes, you can also watch us on YouTube, but the image displayed are 2 very cute tank tops, one with a bow that says Beauty in pink, and then a blue with a big, huge weight that says Beast. So anyways, adorable. Next picture. Okay, so I don't know why this pulled up for me when I was doing my search and pictures, but I thought, oh look, Beauty and the Beast phone case, Disney version. Awesome. I wonder if they have Beauty and the Beast, this version, people version, phone cases. None. So my mission to you guys is I think it'd be cool if somebody created that. You guys are so crafty. So it'd be neat to, I don't know how the process works of submitting this or creating this. I'm sure there's a way you can customize phone covers. But for whomever does, you're in business now. So pull up the next shot if we could, please. These are my inspirations of what I think would be really cool phone covers, if you will. This one, okay, I get it. This is the more masculine version. It's the wanted poster, if you will, for Vincent. But he still looks sexy. I don't care. He's wanted and I want him. So it works out. Let's go to our next picture. And this is for all you JT and Gabe lovers. This could still be a phone cover. I mean, I've never seen Gabe with a gun, to my knowledge, that I remember.
It almost kind of looks like a Star Wars laser.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It's very, very interesting. And I'm not quite sure why JT has to be in the back. Nobody puts JT in the corner. What? Okay, next, please. So this is my last one. This is a very sweet, very, typical phone case looking wispy, dreamy, like
Soft light.
Yes. And it says, "I'll go wherever you will go." Oh my gosh, that was the song tonight. What are the odds?
Who knew?
Yeah. But I love the picture of him with his hands, intertwined behind her. I don't know. That's so sweet to me.
Yeah.
I'm a mushball.
Yeah, he's got a mushy look on his face, though. He's got that
does.
kind of
He's
soft,
smitten.
romantic.
Yes.
Yeah, smitten kitten face.
Yeah, so that's my news and gossip. It wasn't very newsy or gossipy, but like I said, I just thought it'd be really cool to send that mission out to you guys. And who knows, maybe it'll turn into something. It'll be a trend.
I want next week right here on this desk a phone case.
Yeah,
on
that'd
both of us.
be awesome. That'd be awesome.
I have the 4S.
Oh, do you?
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it.
Oh,
out there.
I just have the 4, guys. I'm a little dated, but Okay.
We can share the cover.
Yeah. So, all my other stuff is going to turn into predictions. So why don't we just go to predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
I forget that you're a new host and the look on your face right now.
I'm like, what is going on in here?
We're being abducted.
Suddenly, like we're in a dance club
no
with blue
big.
light, and this is great.
Okay, I mean, we could do it. We could do a beastie party. That works too.
We should.
Yes, next episode. And so, with our predictions, these are some pictures I pulled up. I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you, but just to make you guys think a little bit, we see Gabe putting some guy up on the wall. And then if we go to our next picture, Gabe obviously wins.
But look at the look on his face, though.
Oh, but Gabe's going bad. I don't care what anybody says. He's going bad. He's turned south.
No, he looks a little shifty, like scared almost.
Like, oh, dang, did I really knock him out?
Oh my gosh, do I have toilet paper on my shoe?
That could be, that he could have gas. I mean,
That's what it looks like. A little like, oh, sorry, did I?
did I toot?
Did I? You're right over my
bad.
shoulder. I apologize.
It's hilarious. And then my last picture. This lovely young lady, cute as a button. She disappeared after, gosh, it was just season 1, I believe, if I'm right. Joined the cast of Ravenswood, obviously. Paige and I talked about it. She made the great prediction that once that show got canceled, we'd see Nicole Anderson again. And guess what? We're going to see Nicole Anderson again. So that's a terrible prediction because I know the answer. But that's okay. I have a little
Just makes you more qualified to give the
Thank you.
prediction.
Yes,
Yeah,
see,
you're like,
thank
I'm
you.
going to predict, and it came true again. Ha, I'm amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's going to be featured in episode 2.19 Cold Case, which is going to be airing on the 16th. And we don't really have too much information about that. She stops by for a surprise visit at the worst time possible. I mean, is there really ever a good time when all this is...
Not in this gang.
Not in this, no.
Not with this group.
And Gabe suspends Kat and Tess from the squad in efforts to force Vincent out of hiding. Not cool, Gabe. Really
Gabe,
not cool.
You have gone rogue. Gabe,
Yeah.
you naughty boy.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he might like that voice. But since I've given my predictions, which were all cheats, I'm going to let you take the predictions and maybe give some real good ones.
Do I get the lights again? Because I think that would help. Thank you.
Magical.
Okay, I predict. I agree with you. I think that Vincent's going to make a big U-turn on the freeway, come right back as soon as he finds out the Kat's been taken by these two gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
I predict the two gentlemen are a key to this next phase of the show, and I think you're right. I think it's going to be going back to Murfield, going back to that whole conspiracy to begin with. That's what I think. I predict that we might have maybe a couple of episodes of some JT Tess love.
Oh,
I'm feeling
that's a
it.
good prediction. I like how you channeled your inner psychic with the finger to the temple.
Is that like
They
the
gave you the
Vulcan-
answer. They gave you the answer.
Is it the Vulcan mind melt thing?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, well, great predictions.
Thank you.
Where can everybody find you on Twitter so that way they can follow you and share their predictions with you?
Please do. I'm at Nickerberger, Nickerberger on Twitter. I'm on it all the time, so please get in touch with me. I want to hear from the beasties.
Awesome. And of course, y'all know me. I'm Alikona Bradford. You can find me at Kiss My Passport, or you can find my website, which is alikonabradford.wix.com/television host. And it was wonderful being back, talking with you guys. Can't wait for the next episode full of nice, juicy stuff. Until then, we shall daydream about Vincent's abs. Or if you're a guy, maybe Catherine's nice
Abs?
stomach.
Good.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything vulgar, so you know.
Yeah.
We're ladies here.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.